My name is Mila, and I'm here to introduce to you two great people who are mentors and working together with me in our adventure with Explosion. One is Paul Turner, who's going to explain everything to us, and the other is Mark Humphrey Davis. It's a long surname. Now, pleased to meet you both, and well, Paul, you can take over.
Okay, Mila, that's great. Thanks for inviting me to do this. It's always good, and appreciate what you're doing. Mark, it's great to have you here, Mark. Mark, maybe if you want to introduce yourself first, then I'll kind of take the ball.
Okay. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Mark. I call myself Mark HD, actually, precisely for that reason, Mila. Humphrey Davis is a bit long and double-barreled, but I'm proud of it, really. It's kind of half French and half Welsh, but I'm British anyway, and I'm living here in France. What can I tell you? Well, I'm a 50-something year old father of three, living here in France, and I've been around the network marketing industry for a number of years. Very pleased to say that I came on in about 2009. Been through loads of different things, like everybody, shiny object syndrome, and really wasn't sure where I was going with anything or what I wanted to do. And finally started to find my place, and then I bumped into people like Paul and now you, Mila, and yeah, having great fun, building a business, utilizing the internet, and having great fun. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for that, Mark. So I better tell you a bit about me then. Mila's in Spain and Mark's in France. I'm not anywhere near as glamorous as that. I live in a place called Grantham in the UK, which was voted 3 years on the trot the most boring town in Britain. So as you can imagine, the internet for us was a real kind of godsend. So I found the internet, and being an entrepreneurial type of chappie, obviously latched onto the potential of the internet for what it could do. Failed miserably for a long time in setting up a home-based business, trying to make some extra money. I'd actually started off in retail, stacking shelves, progressed into kind of sales, and though I say it myself, I was a pretty good salesman, for want of a better word. You know, I'd always kind of be up there in the leaderboards. When I came over into network marketing, I failed completely because it's not about selling. So I was lucky enough to find a mentor and find a good opportunity that enabled me to kind of correct a lot of that, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. What Mila's invited me to talk about. That we called this "How to Create a $4,000 a month advertising budget." Watching this have probably been in a network marketing company, a home-based business, you know, internet marketing type company before. You've probably been burned by it. You've probably not had the success you want. You're probably in one now. So the idea is just to kind of help you. That figure we pulled out of the air because it's the average figure that most people could quit their job with if they earned that online. And that's kind of my passion, is trying to help people get free from their job. I used to work for a big company, and the hours were 9 till 5. Which was pretty good, 9 till 5, Monday to Friday. The only problem was I was a field sales manager, which meant like an area manager. I was out on the road. My patch was 3 hours away. So the hours were only 9 till 5, but they wanted you to be on your patch at 9 and not leave till 5. And you used to have to do evening meetings as well. So sometimes I won't get home till 11 o'clock at night and things like that. So staying in a hotel sometimes, it sounds glamorous when you tell people, but honestly, after about 2 months of sitting on your own in hotel restaurants, trying to pretend you're really interested in your phone or your book, it soon loses its appeal. So I wanted a better way. Got into internet marketing, and I'm going to share with you what I've learned, basically. So where do we start? Okay, why do people fail? 95 to 98% of the industry in network marketing fail. So I know that most of the audience watching this are most likely kind of in that boat. They've not kind of broke through to the success they want. I was doing okay, and I was managing to sponsor one new person a week on average into the business I was in. Okay, and a lot of people would, you know, like, wow, how are you doing it? How are you doing it? The effort put into doing it was disproportionate to the results, but it was still good. And if you could keep it going and going and going, it would be cool and it would be great. Through that business, I actually met the guy who sort of heads up our team, and I did an interview with him, and he shared some really good stuff. As a result of that interview with him, I went from recruiting 1 person a week to 2 people a week. And then within 3 weeks from doing that, my best month is 25 in a month. And I hate the word recruit. We don't recruit sounds like you're twisting people's arms behind their back and you're sort of forcing them to join the army or something. So I don't like the word recruit, but it's an industry term. So I sponsored 25 people in 1 month. Just the other week, I brought 5 people in. And the work that I've done to do that is now disproportionate to what I get paid in the sense of the other way around, okay? Because you have to break momentum. So what I'm sharing with you has worked for me, okay? So like I said, I was a salesman, so you think I can sell, and that's what most people do in this industry, and a lot of network marketing companies actually teach that. They teach you to go out and pitch, because if you think about it from the owner of the company's point of view, if you've got 1,000 reps, say, that are going out pitching their business, it will work, but it won't work very well. But because you've got 1,000 people doing it, it will work well enough that the guys at the top are getting a good income. Okay, so that's why they kind of do it. It's actually called network marketing. Okay, and there's probably 2 bits to that. The first bit is network. Okay, it's networking. That's what network marketing was designed to be. It would be take out the advertising costs, pay that to people that could go and recommend it to other people. So obviously your friends and family, what's known as your warm market. If you're like me, you probably burnt that market by being in one and then another and then another and another. So the warm market tends to go, and then you need to find what you call your cold market. That's people you don't know. And like me and Mark were talking earlier, and it's like in the old days, it was really hard, wasn't it, Mark, with no internet? It was on the phone to complete strangers.
Oh, tell me about it.
Mark's only 17 years old, look, but he's been through that. Look what's happened. So we're lucky to have the internet, but people, because it's easy to find people now, will go and pitch. Okay, so it's not called pitching marketing, and it's not called sales marketing. It's called network marketing. So you have to network. Okay, and the other thing is, if you write down the word network, it's actually got the word work in it. And I see a lot of people, they miss that bit. You have to do something. Money just doesn't roll into your lap. Okay, so what happens when you walk into a shop? You go into a store, the salesperson comes up to you. Hey sir, can I help you? The first thing that will come out of your mouth automatically, without you even knowing it, is no, I'm fine, thanks. I'm right, Aunt Tamila?
Yeah, it is.
It's known as pushback. That's what it's called. So if I walk in the shop, people come, can I help you, sir? I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Even if I do want help, it's instinct. It just rolls out there. So that's why pitching, apart from anything else, just does not work. So I get involved in a network marketing company, and I'm going to sell this book, which is a really good book, by the way. Accept Your Abundance, Randy Gage. Brilliant, okay? Recommend everybody get it. So I'm really passionate about this book. So I say, Mark, you've got to buy this book. It's amazing. You won't believe it. It's been on the market now for 10 years, and it's sold so many million and all this. Mark probably doesn't like Randy Gage. Mark has read enough books. Mark doesn't want to know. I'm passionate about it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is. Or I might go, I might go to Mila. You got to lock your spot, Mila. You got to get in now. So it's just hype, yeah, just all hype. That doesn't transfer because you're passionate about it. Other people aren't, and I see a lot of people. They're on kind of a crusade. They're on a crusade because they found this wonderful product that they took for a week and it made them feel better. Mark, you want to feel better, don't you? Everybody wants to feel better. Push back. It just doesn't work. So what I've learned is it's like this. So let's suppose I'm a roofer, okay, and I fix holes in people's roofs. What I could do is I could just pitch everybody on Facebook. Mark, my roofing is brilliant, it's fantastic, you should see, I clean up after myself, I do this, we use the best tiles, we do the best wood, we preserve all the wood, we do this, we do this. Mark hasn't got a hole in his roof. He doesn't need a roofer. So I'm just wasting my time.
Exactly.
So then I come to Mila, and let's suppose in Mila you have got a hole in your roof, and I come on and say, right, you need to hire me to do this job now, Mila, because I'm this and I've got this much experience and I'm fantastic and you should get me, and our prices are the best anyway, so you don't need to go anywhere else, just get me now. How would you feel, Mila, on the receiving end of that?
I wouldn't accept it either.
But you've got a hole in the roof and you need it, so at least that's better than what I was doing with Mark.
Yeah.
So how would this be? How about I come round to your house and I see you've got a hole in the roof and there's water coming through it. And I say, hey Mila, what happened there? And you go, oh, we had these terrible storms in Spain and it's taken a load of roof tiles off, and ever since then when it rains we get water coming through. It's awful, it's been like that for months. And I say, oh, really sorry to hear that, Mila. I know a roofer. I don't know, what he's like, if it's good for you. I don't know if he does that sort of work, but I can certainly give you his details. Do you want me to send them to you? How does that feel?
Yeah, that's better.
Because what am I doing?
Definitely.
I'm helping you, aren't I?
Yeah.
So one of the things that you want to do is try and imagine that scenario when you're talking to people online. So one of the key things there is that it's not you that does the selling. The selling, if you like, for want of a better word, has to be done by a company video, maybe somebody in your upline, a hangout, whatever. If you are the one doing the selling, you're going to get a lot of rejection. And the way we teach it is rejection free. So you should never ever sell the business yourself. You direct people to the video, and we're going to talk about Explosial tonight, which is the business we're all in and the reasons why we're in it, etc., and how it can help. So just income disclaimer, let's get that out of the way up front. If we do end up talking about money tonight, there's no guarantees that that's what you're going to make. We know it works. We don't know how well you're going to work, and we can't account for any number of variables that might go on. But so we can't give guarantees. But we can talk you through why we like it as a system and why it's so good. Okay, so the good thing about Explosial is there are a number of tools that they give you that can kind of show people the opportunity without you having to do it direct. So typical conversation that I have with somebody, I'm not trying to sell them anything, and I honestly, hand on heart, I'm not. I'm totally immune to whether somebody joins me or not. And that's kind of hard to get your head around, especially in the early days. Okay, but honestly, I am just networking with people, and I've made some great friends that I'm never going to join their business, and they're never going to join mine, but I have a lot of fun doing it. Okay, and I made some really good friends with some really good people. Okay, and that's the side benefit. Okay, if you can stop thinking about selling and start thinking about helping, and be emotionally detached from the outcome, that's not mean to say you don't care, but do you understand what I'm saying? You're not kind of bought into the fact that I'm speaking to this one guy, and if this one guy doesn't come on board, that's it, game over. If you think, those sort of people, if they were waiters in a restaurant, how many times when the waiters ask people of an evening, would you like coffee or tea after your meal, sir? And they say, no thanks, we're going. Do you think he goes into the kitchen after and goes, oh my God, they said no? It just doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen because he's not emotionally attached to whether you have a cup of tea or coffee or not. If he was emotionally attached, he'd go out and cry. Maybe he's on a bonus for selling coffee or something, I don't know, so I suppose it could happen. So be emotionally detached and try and help people. So when you talk to people, it's kind of like, hi, how's it going? I don't even mention my business unless they ask me, because I don't want to be rude, but I don't mention my business at all, probably for about 3 or 4 conversations. Okay, there's some figures out from the Direct Selling Association, and I never remember them exactly, but it goes like this: if I speak to 100 people and talk to them about my business opportunity, I'd be really lucky to get 2 out of the 100, 2% join my business. But on the law of averages, some people might even just feel sorry for you and join your business. Law of averages says if you talk to enough people, somebody's going to join. So the Direct Selling Association says about 2% on the first hit. If you talk to the same 100 people, though, and you talk to them about your business opportunity again, it actually goes up to 3%. Speak to them 3 times, though, it goes up to 5%. So you see a bigger jump there. Yeah. And in a nutshell, if you can speak to people between 8 and 12 times, you get as many as 80% of them join your business. I get about 45% when I've been doing the stuff I'm sharing with you here tonight. Okay. So why do you want to waste your first couple of conversations with people getting pushback? You don't want to. You don't want to talk about your business unless they ask you, and then I don't go into it unless they ask. You know, somebody just yesterday said, "Oh, I've been watching what you're doing on Facebook. I've seen some videos you put out. If you don't mind sharing, what business are you in?" And then, you know, we ended up having a chat, and then we were on the phone for about an hour, and I'm speaking to him again today. He's going to let me know what he thinks. Okay, but I'm emotionally detached as to whether he joins or not. Okay, so you're going to develop relationships with people. Is the quickest way to quickly get an income. And then we'll touch on some other things. And me and Mark were talking earlier about list building. I'll let Mark talk about that in a bit. Don't let me forget, Mark. You can talk a little bit about that if you're happy to. But in the early days, when you join a business, you need to cover the cost of running that business. And this is why a lot of people fail in network marketing. They can't cover the cost quick enough because they're taught to do a lot of things that are great to do, but they don't make money quick enough. Now, Darren Little, who heads up our team, he's actually come from big business. He was a millionaire by the time he was 35. And he talks a lot about business etiquette. And business etiquette is when you're trying to raise finances, you're trying to raise money to launch a business or whatever. When you do that, it's not about putting loads of adverts out and things like that. You're only allowed to go to people and their network, you know, that you know. So it'll be a lot of who do you know, who do you know, who do you know, who. It's fluid right now, looking to maybe fill a position in my company. The earnings are going to be somewhere around the, do you know anybody who's qualified to do that? And that's what you have to do. Now, if you just imagine that you're invited to a big party, like an aircraft hangar full of people, okay? Massive, massive party. And you've been tasked with the job of selling this dry erase marker. You could just walk up to everybody in the hangar, couldn't you, and go, "Hey, do you want to try this marker? Look, oh, the smell, oh, the smell. You won't believe how good it smells." And you can write on a board, and it wipes straight off, so it doesn't ruin your board. And listen to this. Listen. Oh, isn't that a satisfying sound? Most people aren't going to be interested, are they? Let's be honest. So, how do you develop this relationship with people? Well, imagine if you're at the same party and your fairy godmother springs into reality and says, "Mila, Mark, I'm going to go inside everybody's heads and give you a computer printout of what they like." So then you could have a list and you could go up to Jeff. "Jeff, I saw you've just been at your daughter's graduation in Sheffield. I actually went to university in Sheffield. Has it, you know, how did she do?" "Oh yeah, she did this, thanks." "Mark, I just saw you painted your house yellow." That stands out, doesn't it? Funny enough, my neighbours just painted their house yellow. "Mila, oh, I see you're in Spain. Where are you at?" "Benidorm, I was there 3 months ago." "Would you believe it? What part are you in?" Okay. Now, armed with that sort of information, it'd be a lot easier to go and start building a relationship with somebody, and then eventually talk about your pens. Okay, because it'll probably come up in conversation. "What do you do?" "Oh, well, I'm involved with this company that are just rolling out these pens." You know. So if you think about what Facebook offers us, is exactly that brain dump, because you just look at somebody's timeline. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Again, you know, go on, Mark.
Yeah, no, I like the analogy of the big party, because I do that as well. I think of Facebook as a huge. Well, actually, I like to think of it as a kind of like a department store sort of setup, but obviously there are commercial aspects to it because a lot of businesses, social media is the place to be, and even the big brands have realised that they need to stop pushing advertising and ramming messages down people's throats, and actually standing for something, having values, and saying this is what we represent. If that's you, then come and check us out, sort of thing. You know, there's a lot. It's a lot more pull, and it's a lot more. Well, getting into the attraction marketing. So I like the idea of it being a big well, call it what you like, department store, big, okay, hangover, you know, big party. And it is that. And I think one of the things you mentioned earlier when you were talking about this whole business of selling is that none of us likes to be sold to. You were saying, you know, we immediately, you know, put our hands up, you know, when you walk into a shop, you know, how do you feel if the sales assistant comes straight up and says, "Oh, hi, good morning, help you, what sort of size are you? You know, what are you looking for?" I mean, I know they do that, but if they come on too strong, you know, we don't like it. We feel icky. However, we all love to buy, and so the whole the knack you need to develop in the network marketing business, anyway, what I would say in any sales situation, is to engineer a situation whereby you're soliciting a desire amongst the people to want to come to know more and to be curious. Okay, and then to give them the right amounts of the right information so that they can make an informed decision, because we love to make, or at least think we're making our own decisions and coming to our own conclusions. So so this would tie in with stake that we a lot of making on social media, especially when they're new to the industry, is that people make the mistake of thinking, "Oh, great, I'm on social media, I'm on the internet, all I've got to do is display my wares and the people will come, you know, running, credit card in hand," you know, and it's just not like that.
That way.
Exactly. And so one of the things that I started learning a few years ago, when I came online about 2009, and learned quite early on, because I got introduced by a friend of mine to a guy called Mike Dillard, who some of you may know. Yeah. I mean, he is known as the godfather of attraction marketing, and that completely opened my eyes. And anyway, so this all ties in with. Do you want me to talk about list building quickly?
Yeah, let's do that after I've finished the Facebook thing, and then absolutely, you're the man.
No, so really, so it's just to say, yeah, you know, people, you know, everybody particularly when they've joined a new business, obviously they want to let the maximum number of people know about it, and you need to really, take the opposite approach, and get into the mentality of thinking, I need to let people know, but not force it down their throats.
Yeah,
so, you know, and looking on the timelines, as you say, for the information is just logical. You wouldn't go to here's a quick analogy to finish up with. It's like, you know, dating. You know, when you're dating, we can all relate to this one. You know, you don't go straight in and say, well, yes, you look like the right sort of person. Yeah, well, so we'd like to get married and have babies.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, even when you've been dating for a couple of years and the mention of marriage, it's like, whoa. You know, it's got to be a seduction process, you know people gently, and that's where Facebook in particular is such a great help. Is we all display our information. People are displaying what they like and their interests, and you just need to pick a point of interest and just get to know people with no agenda. That was what you said, Paul, was great. The phrase I've learned along the way is divorce yourself from the outcome.
Married to the process.
Marry the process, exactly.
Married to the process, stick with it.
Enjoy what you're doing, and don't even think about the outcome. And ironically, the outcome will come.
I've sold a lot more, now I don't sell. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. But I've sold far more by not selling. If I try and sell, it doesn't work. Okay, so thanks for that, Mark. So let's go back, sort of take it one step at a time. If you haven't heard of Ray and Jessica Higdon, I suggest you look them up. They came over to London recently. So, hi Sarah, how you doing?
Hiya.
Joined us.
Hi.
Hello, Sarah.
Hiya.
Hi.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
So let's go back to the beginning. Ray and Jessica Higdon. Jessica Higdon does $10,000 a month residual income, all built from Facebook, just from chatting to people on Facebook. She emphasises that you need to spend time choosing the people that you're going to approach, rather than just kind of do a, hit and miss affair. So people, you need to think about the people that you want to work with. So for example, I like a guy called John Assaraf. He was featured in The Secret. I love Randy Gage. He teaches some brilliant stuff. Funnily enough, they've got their own profiles on Facebook, and they've got fan pages that have got thousands and thousands of people on. And for you, it might be Robert Kiyosaki, Anthony Robbins. The people that are into Robert Kiyosaki are very open-minded towards internet marketing and network marketing. Very, very open to it, because Robert Kiyosaki is very big into it. Donald Trump is very much into network marketing. He did have his own network. I don't know if it's still going, actually, the Trump Network. And he endorses ACN, which is a network marketing company. So you can choose the people on those fan pages, and you can go and look at their profile and go, do you know what? I don't think I like them, for whatever reason, okay? And that's just nature. You find somebody that you do like, though, and you can look at their timeline, and like we said, you know, they've got a dog, you've got a dog. They live somewhere where you visited, great. Whatever it is, if you can find 3 things in common, that's 4. If you can find 3 things in common in the first 5 minutes, we're not good at maths at Explosure, you don't have to be. But if you can find 3 things in common in the first 5 minutes with somebody, you immediately get some kind of connection with them. And again, Facebook timeline makes that easy. Now, I don't just want to blast out these messages that you see that, hey, Sarah, I see we're in the same group, which is about making money, and you seem like a sharp person. I'd love to contact you and network with you more. No, you go, hey, Sarah, I saw your post where you're talking about Robert Kiyosaki's latest book. Brilliant. I've read it. I take it you have. What did you think? Immediately, you got a connection. And then if Sarah comes back and talks to me, it'll be, hey, Sarah, I see you down in the Cotswolds. I used to cover that when I was an area manager. Where are you exactly? She'll come back, oh yeah, I know it. I used to drive through there all the time on the way to somewhere else. You know, might be you went to university there, might be whatever it is, you can generally find a few things in common when you're chatting to people. And that's all you're doing, you're networking. Now, as the conversation, or should I say conversations, progress, remember, only 2% of people will join your business if you pitch it on the first time. As the conversations progress and you get to know them, what you're looking for is the hole in the roof. So when they ask you how it's going, yeah, it's going great. I spent all of January down in Devon, which is a place we love. I spent the whole month away, which was amazing. Then we were away again. It was my wife's birthday in February. We went down to London and back to Cornwall. We went down into Cornwall for a bit as well. It's one of our favourite places called Boscastle. And then we just went away again recently for a weekend, and we've got another holiday booked in October. Do you get to travel much? Well, no, not really. Oh, why's that? Well, work, you know, I only get 4 weeks off. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's the hole in the roof. Would you like to travel more? Yeah, who wouldn't? Oh, fantastic. Well, you know, why can't you do it? And a great question I got is, you know, what's your passion then? What's your passion then, Mila? What do you like to do? And somebody says, well, I like to go surfing. So how often do you go surfing? Oh, well, only in the summer holidays, you know. Oh, that's a shame. Why don't you do it more if it's your passion? Well, work. Well, what would it take? How much would you have to earn each month to cover what you earn at your job? Oh, I need to make $4,000 a month. Well, look, what would you say if I told you I found a way where people are making sort of $4,500 a month in 45 days? I don't know if it's a fit for you. Same as the roofer. I don't know if he's any good. I don't know if he's the right one for you. I don't know if it's a fit for you, but I've got some information I can send you if you'd like to take a look. Who's going to say no to that? Some people will, honestly. But like Mark said, married to the process, divorced from the outcome. That's just one of the people that said no to the waiter because they don't want a cup of coffee. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. What you got planned for the weekend? Cool, what you got planned for the weekend is you get out. There's no rejection into this if you do it right. Would you like to take a look? No? Cool. What are you doing at the weekend? Anything good? And still chat and be friends with them. That's fine. So let's just have a quick... Sarah, what would it take for you to be able to quit your current level of income and live a life of freedom?
Well, $4,000 a month.
Which is why we set the figure there.
Yeah,
Mila,
exactly.
What would it take for you to be able to replace your current income?
Me also, 4,000 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And Mark, what would it take for you?
Well,
Mark's the last
4,000.
millionaire.
4,000. No, but I mean seriously. I've always said from the start, 4,000 would do for starters, but I'm actually aiming for 7.
We all want more, okay? But here's something I found. When I first started doing this, I was talking about $25,000 a month, because that is possible.
Mm.
And it's what Darren is very comfortable talking about $25,000 a month, because he was a millionaire at 35. So for him, that's quite comfortable.
Mm.
But if you speak to the average person and you say, would you like to make $25,000 a month? It's just so above beyond their kind of framework for most people. Not everybody. It might be fine for you, but you got to think about the people that you're introducing. For them, it's just like so far out, they just cannot conceive it. So I always talk about getting free from work, because then it's normally around about 4,000. That's $48,000 a year. The average income in the US is about that. It's about 50,000. So it's about there. So then what you can do is you can say, well, okay, well, $4,000 a month divided by 95 is a team of 42 people would get you free from work. Can you imagine now going to a restaurant and the chairs are all lined up in front of you and there's 44 chairs? If you can put a person in each one of those 44 chairs, you've got financial freedom. Well, freedom from your job. You replace your income, you've got time freedom. Because as Mark says, I'm not happy with $4,000 a month. I'm used to earning more than that because I have my own business. Okay, so that was my goal, is now to take that above. A team of 88 people gives you $100,000 a year recurring income, and that's not a lot. Now it sounds like a lot, but let's put it in context. There's a great quote from Bill Britt, and he made $1 million in Amway. Okay, and he said, what I did was really simple. Didn't do anything hard. He showed the plan to 1,200 people. 900 of them said no. And this is another key point, really. You've got to be divorced from the outcome, because if you take 900 no's, that's a lot of rejection. And a lot of people, it'll just take them out of the game. Bang, gone, can't take it. Okay? You have to divorce yourself from the outcome. Cool. Everyone that says no, you're nearer to somebody that says yes. Even if it's just out of pity, you'll get somebody. Okay? So he showed the plan to 1,200. 900 said no. He's left with a team of 300. Out of the 300, only 85 did anything. Out of the 85, 11 made him a millionaire. So what I like to show people is if you take 1,200, so if I'm going to show the plan to 1,200 people, divided by 12 months, I need to speak to 100 people a month. Show the plan to 100 people every single month. That's 3.3 a day, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
100 divided by 30 days in an average month, 3.3.
Or just divide by 365, Paul.
Well, that would also be a good idea, Mark. 1,200 divided by 365 should be the same answer.
And it's 3.28.
3.28. It's gone down.
Ah, yeah, so it's
down, so you have to speak to no one.
It's even easier.
So, I'm not gonna go through the compensation plan. That's why we have the tools. The video, there's a link below this, is proven to convert. So why am I going to spend my time trying to convince anybody? But let me just say this: it's a team effort. Okay, our model works on you finding 6 people. That's what we look for you to do. You will then, with our help, help them get 6 people. And they will get help from you and from us to help them get 6 people. Things like these hangouts, the training in the back office, etc., etc. You can't do it for people. They have to take some action, and unfortunately some won't. So to get you 6 serious people, you might only need to speak to 6 people. More likely you're going to probably have to speak to 60 people.
Yeah.
Okay? But if you can get 6 people and, learn, do, teach, you learn what you need to do, you do it, and then you teach them, you can have a very, very, very strong team with you only ever recruiting 6 people. And that's the way our business is set up. Does anybody know how many people are on Facebook?
Well, 1 billion.
It's over 1 billion, isn't it? So
yeah, 1.1, I think.
1.3, I think now, isn't it?
Is it 1.3?
1.3 billion people on Facebook. Do you honestly believe that you can't find 6 people?
Possible.
Whatever opportunity you're in, whatever it is. Now, I said why people fail. I like to do something I call a commission taste test. Commission taste test. How many people do I need to make $1,000 a month recurring in your business? And people will often come back and say, Paul, I only need 3 people. I only need 3. Fantastic. So, what does it cost to start join your opportunity? $100. Right, fantastic. I'm going to go out today and recruit 3 people, and that will put me on $1,000 a month. That's what you said, right? 3 people, $1,000 a month recurring. Yeah, that's right. Costs $100 to join. Even if you pay me 100% commission, my math says that's $300.
Exactly.
So how does that work? That all of a sudden they're going to pay me $333.33 each? But Paul, those 3 will go out and get 3. And each of them will go out and they'll get 50 to 60 customers, and each one of those 50 to 60 customers will spend $100 a month on buying the vitamins. Hang on. 3 times 3 is 9. Each one is going to get 50 or 60 customers. So let's say 50 times 9. That's 450. That's not quite right then. What you've told me, is it? in our business, it's 11. Okay. Now the other thing is, a lot of people in those type of businesses, they're on these auto ship where they get the vitamin set every month. And if you go in the garage, the boxes fall on you. I'm not critical of any business. I've seen it though. I've seen people's garages. Some people that I know. And it comes. And this is because we know 95 to 98% of the industry fail. They can't make money quick enough before they quit because they're spending every month. The vitamins are stacking up. They can't sell them to their friends and family like they thought they would because they thought it was the best thing in the world. Mark, go for it.
Just like to chip in there and say I'm not contradicting what you're saying, but I prefer to think of it as, rather than 98% people failing, 98% of people just stop.
Yeah.
I mean, you did say the word quit as well.
Absolutely.
And they stop because they don't, unfortunately, manage to find the right mentoring, the right training, and they can't do it quick enough, and they don't have the long-term vision and the mindset based around the fact that I'm going to decide to be in there for the long haul, but I'm also going to decide to learn from somebody who's already successful and is where I want to be, etc. So just wanted to say that.
2 words that will take you out of the game: acceptance and approval. I believe this is the best calculator you can buy. It's brilliant. Sarah, this calculator, it's amazing. You used to see it. Nah, Paul, I'm fine. I'm happy with my old 1960s calculator I've had forever. Oh, I haven't got acceptance or approval. How many of us have spouses or family members? Oh, God, you're not joining one of those internet scams, are you? You are actually, Donald Trump recommends them. Richest man in the world, Warren Buffett, actually owns quite a few network marketing companies. Richard Branson puts his products through ACN. If it's a scam, maybe you want to get in on it. But acceptance and approval, it will take you out. And that, in conjunction with not being able to make enough, because of the compensation plan, a lot of these businesses. Do you know what I hate? Binary programs, for those of you that don't know. Oh yeah, you build a team on the left, you build a team on the right. The reason I don't like binaries is because I know a guy who's got over £1 million tied up in his left leg. Because he recruited somebody that went wild in Russia and recruited the whole of Russia, basically. Well, I don't literally mean the whole of Russia. But he took it to a country and launched the business over there, and it went absolutely crazy. And he earns $25 every time there's a match here and a match there. So he can only get his $25. He can only get his £1 million $25 at a time every time he puts somebody in the right leg. crazy. I just don't see the need for it. So those kind of things will take people out of the game. So one of the things we like about Explocial is it saves an average family about $9,000 a year. So the garage isn't getting full. That even if they'd never recruit anybody into the business, I feel good because I know that if they just use the vouchers, they can save money. And that's quite a good feeling, as opposed to knowing that 95 to 98% of the industry are going to fail. Now, my absolute aim is that everybody that joins my team is going to have fantastic success. But I'm going to be realistic here and just tell you, some people join and do nothing. Acceptance approval takes them out of the game. They do zero. You know, a lot of people are in love with the dream rather than the work of having to do it. Okay, even though we've just proved you only need to really speak to like 3 or 4 people a day on a consistent basis and show them the plan, be prepared to take a lot of no's to build a massive organisation. We're only talking about you getting 6. And that's one of the other good things about Explocial is you don't need a lot of numbers to be able to earn a good income with Explocial. Okay, there are over 4,000 savings in it. So again, you know, the link at the bottom there, you might want to go and look at that. There's a savings calculator that can show you roughly how much you're going to earn. There's an earnings calculator to show you the potential if you can recruit a few people, and they limit it. They won't even let you put in massive numbers. They limit to what you can do, and you'll be quite impressed by that. But also there's a video on there, like I say, that is proven to convert. You watch the video, that is what you would do, that is what you would show to your potential people, that is what you would show to your recruits and get them to do the same thing. So we get duplication in our business as well. I was in another business where in the period of 18 months I've had precisely 3 sort of team members pass up sales to me, and in the course of 3 weeks in Explocial I had 17. So the duplication is there in Explocial for those that want to do as they're told. Little quick word on ego. When I say ego, I don't mean like people flouncing around being divas or whatever, but we all think we can do it better. It's human nature. It's not, you know, if you've got an ego like that, congratulations, but we all think that, you know, if we applied it to the highway code, you look at the highway code and it says, you know, one-way street. I swear I know people that would say, well, I know it says that, Paul, but I think it would be a lot quicker if I did go the wrong way down it. I think that's probably just for tourists, you know, whatever. And so when I say, look, you know, speak to 4 people a day, well, actually, Paul, I found another way. I think I can do it like this and I can do it like that. Well, hang on a minute. I'm as guilty as anybody. Honestly, the reason I failed is because I thought, oh, I'm super duper salesman, I can do it better. The thing is, you know, choose the system, follow the system. And again, me and Mark were talking about it. Mark is following a different system but getting the same results because it's a system that suits him. We have the system if you want to follow it. You might have a different system, okay? But the vehicle, Explocial, is a very good vehicle to use. And I find it works great, by the way, as a secondary business for people, because it will support any number of shiny objects they put on the front end, because it saves people money, marketing budget, even if they don't want to work the business. You save $9 grand a year, that's a good marketing budget. Okay, it offers incentive vouchers as well, by the way, so you can give away holidays for people just watching your video or putting their name and email into a lead capture form or whatever. There's a lot you can do with it to support another business. Now, what we teach is basically get your 6. And that's what we're here to help you do. And we predominantly do that by, like we say, reaching out, talking to people. If you want to recruit more, fine, we encourage it. And then the other factors come into play. Mark, do you want to talk a bit about list building or something that we can help people with?
Sure. Yeah. Just first of all, though, I just want to clarify what you said just there, that I'm following another system. I mean, I joined the Explocial business, and I'm following the Explocial model system, if you like, but you know what we're talking about is, I mean, there are more than, you know, there's more than 3 ways to skin a cat. There are, I mean, I won't go into all the detail here because it's not, we don't have time, and it's perhaps not appropriate. But and this is Mila's show anyway. I just like to actually give a shout out to Mila because I've only met her recently through Explocial. To meet a really enthusiastic and lovely person. She's down there in Benidorm in the Costa Blanca in Spain, and this is her event. So if you've come along to this show through Mila's invitation, and any of this is ringing true with you, then, you know, shoot her a message, get in touch with her, and you know, you'd be in good hands there. So what?
And also, can I just add to that?
Mhm.
You also get my support, and Mark and Sarah are here to support Mila as well. So you will get the same support if you want to be on, be a bit out there and say, if you want to be on a winning team, just come and see what we're about. You know, just come and talk to us. None of us are going to pitch you. We've already said we don't pitch. None of us are going to pitch you. We're here to support. If you want to have a chat with Mila, have a chat with Mila. And if you want to chat with me, I'll have a chat with me, and I can, you know, show you a little bit more, whatever. So sorry, Mark, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to add to that. And Mila, yes, you're great. I'm sorry. She's obviously got technical difficulties. She's off the hangout, but
Yeah, she's been messaging on Facebook. She's got some technical issue. She's also got 2 young kiddies who have a gastroenteritis. So, you know, she did well to come on for the time she did.
It's a good job we don't have to do home meetings anymore, isn't it? Because I won't want to be there.
Anyway, yeah, sorry, what did you... I've lost my track now. What did you want me to talk about?
You could talk briefly about, you know,
Yeah,
how
very
you've
briefly.
got to take things further.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, all this ties into, it's all intertwining and interconnected. It's all part of the, you know, don't sell. And like you, Paul, I come from a sales background. I was in corporate sales for 24 years. I'm not that old, even though I might look it. I'm only 40-11. I count the French way, yeah, well, as I live here.
Start counting backwards.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, the whole of building a successful network marketing business is in, as you've said already, the relationships. The strategy that I prefer to lead with, if you like, in my general sort of marketing, apart from obviously leading with value and just making connections and just trying to meet people without any business agenda whatsoever, but just building up contacts. And this, I think, was maybe the system you were talking about earlier. The system I choose is building a list. What does that mean? Well, it's just basically, let me say it this way. I mean, for example, well, Paul, perhaps I could ask you the question and we'll reverse the role. You know, if okay, so we've met, you've become a contact of mine, and I'm talking to you about you know, where you're at in life, what you're looking for, what you're hoping to achieve, etc., etc. And there might be a little bit of interest. You could be open to looking at a business. Now, I speak to you in where are we now? September. Okay. How many more times do you think I could phone you up to check how it's going and, you know, where your thinking is at and how your situation might have changed? How many times do you reckon I could speak to you between now and Christmas?
Depends what you're saying to me.
Right.
Before I get fed
I
up.
knew you'd say something like that. Okay. No, but okay.
You, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Well, if it's you, Mark, yeah, I'll answer the phone every time. No, but I mean, like in Facebook chat as well. You know, I mean, would you agree that you can't necessarily be messaging someone, you know, every week, for example? I mean, how would you feel about that?
I know where you're going, and basically, if you're touching base with me and offering me value, I'll accept a lot. If you're pitching me, not a lot.
No, right. No, okay. No, but all right. Okay, fine. So, the strategy that I have subscribed to and wholeheartedly believe in is the idea of building a list, so that everyone you come in contact with, you basically say, you know, you're leading with this value, and what I choose to do is to build a list of people that have at some point early on in my relationship with them, they've put their hand up and said, yeah, okay, Mark, yeah, I appreciate the value you're sharing and the tips, etc., and yeah, I would like to be on your newsletter list. You know, can you put me on it, or where do I, you know, how do I get on it? And then that way, what I do is, and anyone can do this, and if you believe you have no value at the start, you know, we can help you out with that. You basically just share what you're learning each and every day, you know, because you'd be surprised. There are hundreds of, like I said, how many people on Facebook? 1.3 billion. How many people are in the network marketing industry globally? I don't have the latest figure to date, but it's millions. It's millions. And all you want to do in some way, improve the way they do their business. So what I do is I offer the opportunity to just jump on my list, and that way I can share much more regularly. So let's say send 4 or 5 emails a week. Some people do it daily, some people do more. I prefer to do it when I've really got something of value to share, and then that way it's less of an intrusion. No, not everybody will necessarily read every single email. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm on lists of people that I follow and my mentors, and I don't read every single one. So sometimes I might see a post on Facebook, and if it's something of importance, then I perhaps then will go and dive in and say, right, let me go and find the email on that, etc. But it's just a way of building up an audience, because that is basically what you want to do. You want to build an audience of people that are happy to listen to you, and because they appreciate the value you're sharing. It's just another way of doing it.
What really we're all saying is it's just a way. Only 2% of people are going to join you on the first kind of hit. It's just another touch point, and that's a good point actually, because building a list, and we're talking about an email list, just to clarify if somebody's new to this, that can be explained. But an email list is one way of touching base with people. Talking to them is another. A Facebook post is another way of just touching base with people. Okay, a YouTube video is another way of touching base with people. An Instagram picture if they follow you on Instagram. So if you can get people to sort of follow you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, get on your email list if you've got a list, and talk to them in Facebook chat. I mean, there's 5 ways there off the top of my head that you can kind of just be a touch point for people where they can see you, your business, what you're about. And it's a good idea to share your successes. And a success can be a real small thing, and that helped me get my 25 in a month. I was like, hey, I've just recruited 2 people today. How have you done that? Well, it's because of this. It's because of this training I've had. It's because of this. Well, where can I see it? Often you didn't even have to tell people, what it was you were doing. So, okay, so thanks for that, Mark. We're coming up to time. Sarah, late as ever.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, you see, that's the benefit of working in network marketing. You can work at your own pace, and you can do it as fast or as slow as you like. The reason I'm late is I was driving my sister down to Bristol because she had an appointment back in Devon to get the rest of her teeth done, and she said the lab messed it up, and she said if they mess it up again I'm going to have to get them to post my teeth up here, which made me laugh today. So that's why I'm 15 minutes late.
Oh, could she? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so what I was thinking I love about network marketing is that you are in control, and many people have jobs. We all want to pay mortgages off, have a healthy, blessed retirement, and obviously bring our children up to have good lives, and that all takes money. And of course happiness isn't about just money, absolutely not. I happen to be an older mother. I'm divorced. I'm 57, and I've got one 14-year-old daughter, and I bring her up without any financial support from my ex-husband. And I've got 2 houses and 2 mortgages. So I've worked very hard all my life, thoroughly enjoyed it. I've been very blessed. I've enjoyed my career. But it's that conundrum of being the hamster on the wheel, isn't it? The trading time for money.
Nice.
And coming up to 60, I have got some pensions, but I haven't got enough to pay the mortgages off. I haven't got enough to go on brilliant holidays, to finish renovating this very, very old house, etc., etc. And a few years ago, I met Paul, 5 years ago actually, and we've been business friends ever since. And I thoroughly trust his technical judgment, and we're very complementary. So I would say the first thing is find yourself a mentor who you trust and you believe in, and be constant, be consistent, because many people jump around from opportunity to opportunity, and you'll get a lot of respect simply from having put your stake in the ground. You've got your passion business, and then you've got a support business that easily generates income to give you that marketing budget to help support you, or will make savings in its own right. So be consistent, and have trust and have faith, and like today, you know, for me, you can move as fast or slow as you like. I've never deviated from this from when I first joined, and I've only been in network marketing for coming up to 2 years. I never understood it before, and I never wanted anything to do with Tupperware or beauty products. There's nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't the space that I sat in. Once network marketing moved online and merged with the digital world, I absolutely loved it because of the power of the reach. With no advertising budget, I've now got 4,500 friends on Facebook. I'm nearly up to the maximum limit. In fact, I think it's 4,700 now. So there's a huge opportunity, and you know, it's a huge opportunity. Without, in fact, our millionaire mentor, another advantage, Darren, he turned $154 into 150,000 in a year. Now he's got 25 years of experience, but to have the power of that millionaire mentoring as well as the access to quick, easy to learn. I haven't got time for hour-long videos on training. These little videos that we get are 5 to 10 minutes. It teaches me about how to do an email list. I struggled with it before. I still pay my Aweber subscription. I still can't use the darn thing. You know, now I've managed to crack it with Explocial. But you know, we all have our little sort of hang-ups. So just to finish, I'd say, you know, for me, it's most definitely a long-term investment. I had a chat round yesterday to help me make my will. He said to me, "Have you got pensions?" Yes, I do, but I'm not contributing to any anymore. He said, "Do you have life insurance to pay your mortgages off?" No, I do not. This is my life insurance. This is my pension. For very, very modest sum investment, not only do I get a return on that investment, I sit and enjoy doing it when I want to do it. I make friends and I don't have to sell. It's absolutely fantastic. So, and I have that long-term commitment, the trust, the faith, and the vision that I have the right mentors, I have found the right products that are right for me. They may not be right for you, but they're right for me and the team who are here. You know, that's it really, and that's why I love doing it and keep on doing it.
That's excellent. Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for that. Well, look, we're up to time, so I'm just going to wrap things up here. So. One thing that you got to think about, guys, is your vision, because your vision is what carries you through in this business. Because if you get to a point where you're thinking of quitting, you're probably doing something right with this sort of business, to be honest. Okay, because we all get it. Okay, and you go to your job every day because you've got a boss telling you what to do, and you put up with it because you want the paycheck at the end of it. When you become your own boss, most people are kind of not very good at being their own boss, if we're honest. Because I have to do things I don't like. I always put them off. But you know, if you come into this and be prepared that, you know, you get ups and downs just like you do in any business, and you're willing to sort of ride those out, you can have a lot of success with network marketing and feel good. Okay, so what I would say to you is, look, what is your vision? Now, some people say, oh, it's freedom. Well, if you're unemployed, you can be free, okay, because you don't have a lot to do other than sit at home and watch TV. Okay, so I suggest it's probably a bit more than just pure freedom. Okay, you probably want to have a nice car and you want to travel or whatever it is. Think about your life. Think where you're going to be in 5 years if nothing changes. Honestly, if nothing changes just now, where you're going to be in 5 years. Think about your pension, like Sarah's talked about, because that's one of the things that made me get involved as well. Pensions were collapsing all over the place, left, right and centre. Think about that and think how it could be with just even an extra few $100s a month, few $1,000s a month, let alone the big numbers that you can do. Okay. If you think it's worth a look, check the link below. And that vision that you have can carry you through, and bear that vision in mind when you watch the video and you go through the site below. And if you want to know anything more, contact Mila. You know, contact us. Mila's details will be on the page when you click below. And I hope you found this useful. Any closing comments, Mark?
No, but I'd just quickly like to say, Sarah, that's I love hearing your story every time.
Thank you.
And I love the passion you have in it. And I think you're a great example of someone who's come from not just from the corporate world, but you've actually had your own business, haven't you? I mean, all your life, or pretty much most of it.
Yes, I've worked in the same field for 34 years, and I've worked for myself for 20 years, and I have had $1 million consultancy, which I totally created on my own in the 90s, in the .com era.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And the key, as you said, is the time freedom aspect, because so many people, even people that own their businesses, are tied to them, and it's like having it's like the business owning you, so it's like almost like having a job, in fact.
It did, and it cost me my health and my marriage in the end. One of them.
Actually, one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no! I mean, no, that's fantastic. No, I mean, and I see you've got your Brontosaurus. That's a new thing, isn't it, in the back?
Yes, that's Geronimo. Yes, I've moved forward in time. I was in the 15th century dining room. I'm now in the 17th century sitting room. And so what I would say to everyone watching this is, and it was great to hear Mark and Paul so supportive of Mila. We've got a truly European team here. We've got our French speaker, we've got our Spanish speaker, which is the second largest language and community in the States, hugely powerful. And I often think of all the people in South America and Mexico having to cross the border hour and a half each way each day to earn a few dollars. You know, and it's no life. So don't go the way of the old dinosaurs. Join the digital age and network marketing.
I think that's a great place to wrap it up. So your next step, guys, just click the link below. It costs you nothing to find out if it's for you or not. May not be a fit, as we said earlier. Check it out, see what you think. Hope it helps, and we'll see you again sometime, I hope.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Thank you.